Hello everyone, this is Yousif from Crafting Clouds, and in today's video, I'm going to be going through setting up a very important capability and method that will help you a lot with both screen performance and overall design organization when you're building out apps and Method. And it's called app ribbons. Now, first I'm just going to walk you through what an app ribbon is. So if we go into, for example, the contacts app. All right, this is probably the most popular place where you'll notice the app ribbon, and you just open up a contact profile. Everything that you see to the right here are app ribbons that Method has configured for you out of the box. Okay, now you could add to this area with your custom apps when you're building a custom app. All right, now how to do that is what I'm going to show you next. So let's begin. What we're going to do is we're going to go to the potential deals app at the very bottom here. And you'll see that we have potential deals across a bunch of our customers in Method. And we want to be able to see these potential deals when we open up that customer in that contacts profile that you see here. Okay. So if you go ahead and you see this potential deal right here, we have it belonging to John Derringer. Okay. And we want to be able to open up John Derringer's profile or even the company that he's with, which I believe is ABC Industries. And we want to be able to see that when we open up anyone that belongs to ABC Industries, see all the potential deals belonging to that company. Okay. So how do we do this? Now, this is a very important step. Intuitively, what would happen is you would probably want to go to the contacts app and go and open up the screen and customize the screen to configure it here, right? But you'll notice when you go into the contact screen, you don't see anywhere to see an app ribbon. The only area that you would see an app ribbon is to actually have the app ribbon show and whether you want it 2/3 of the screen or 1/3 of the screen. So if you go to the page screen properties icon, you'll see app ribbon here. So you can actually just have it not show at all. You can have it 1/3 panel or 2/3 panel. So right now it's set to 2/3. Let's just go ahead and I'll show you the 1/3 version as well. So let's go ahead and just close that. This is the 1/3 version right here, okay? So as you can see, and a lot of your other apps, such as your estimates or your invoices, when you go and you open up an estimate or invoice out of the box, it's usually showing in a 1/3. The 2/3 panel is mainly for the contacts app out of the box. I don't think any other screen that does it that way. But you can do both. You have the option to do either 1/3 or 2/3. But as you can see here, it shows a little bit differently, right? It's configured where it's fully collapsed and it shows you a counter to show you how many records are in each. And if you open it up, you see the list and you can go ahead and navigate to that particular record within the sidebar here. But in the contacts app, it's actually better and it was designed for the 2/3 panel. Again, for you, it's entirely up to you how you want to do it. It's entirely your choice, okay? But this is not where you go to customize your app ribbon. You actually, because we want to see the potential deals show up here, we actually have to go to the potential deals app to configure the app ribbon to show up here. I know it's not that intuitive. It takes a while to get used to, but that's why we have this video here to show you. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to go back. We want to go to our potential deals app. Now mine's collapsed at the bottom here. Yours might, your custom app or whatever you want to have configured may show up here. For me, it's right down here. I'm going to hit the manage option for potential deals. Okay. And then you're going to notice an app ribbons option right here. So we're going to click that and we're going to create an app ribbon here to show into that contacts profile. So how do we do that? We click create app ribbon. Okay. Then over here, what we're going to do is we're going to say opportunity field. Okay. What we're going to look at is contacts. Okay. Now we could choose customer here as well. And in fact, it's probably better we do customer and I'll tell you why. If we choose contact, it's only going to show you the record for that particular contacts profile, John Derringer. But let's say you say, well, I don't want to just, if I go to another contact at ABC Industries, I want to still be able to see all the potential deals belonging to that company, not the contact. So in that case, you want to choose customer here. Then you want to join it to the contacts app, okay? And the reason why you want to, the contacts table. And the reason why is because, and I'm just going to duplicate my screen. This is very important here, which table. You may want it, intuitively you might be like, oh, well, I want to join it to the customer table. No, it actually needs to be the contacts in order for it to show up in the contacts app screen. And the reason why is just to double check to make sure you're choosing the right table. Go to the screen that you want it to appear on, customize the screen, go back to the page properties, and look at the table that page is based off of. Okay, here it's based off of the contacts table, which means that our app ribbon also needs to be set to the contacts table, okay, for it to show up in that app. Now we're going to join on entity record ID. Now, for those of you who don't know, entity is a special table that syncs with QuickBooks that contains your customers, your vendors, your employees, and your other. Now in Method also contains leads in this customer table, but they're not synced to Method yet until the lead option is unchecked. So if you're expecting to see lead info here, you would also choose entity as well. Okay, it's all contained in that table. So we're going to join. So the customer is a part of the entity table. That record ID is the exact same record ID in the entity table as well. So this is the right relationship. Okay. And then when we set up our tile, what do you want it to display? So the count of potential deals belonging to that customer. So we're going to do a count. You can also do sum, average, max, min. But to be quite honest, I don't even think I've ever used these, to be honest with you. I would just choose count. Okay. And then do record ID, because that's going to give you the number of records, potential deals belonging to that company. And you're going to type in, this caption's important. You're going to want to put potential deals here. Okay. This is what's going to show up in your app ribbon. All right. So if whatever you name here is going to be what shows up in that app ribbon area on the contact profile. And then you want to sort by most likely, I would say, the latest potential deal right at the top. So we're going to do record ID and we're going to set it to descending order. And the number of records, you can set it from 5, 10, 15. I'm just going to leave it at 5. Now, lastly, you have this option right here where you can actually go ahead and you can filter by, let's say, an extra parameter. Let's say you only want to see potential deals for customers with a customer type of a retailer, for example. This is where you're going to go ahead and add that. Maybe you don't want to see all potential deals for all types of customers because maybe not all of them are as important to you. You only want to see the ones belonging to the retailers. Okay. So this is where you're going to apply that additional filtering. Okay. Now, because the potential deals is based off of the opportunity table, that's where I built my custom app off of, right? You're going to want to, this is all the fields that belong to the opportunity table. So you're going to want to filter based off of the fields that are available to you on the opportunity table. If you don't see the field, it's most likely because you need to add it into the table, and then it'll show up here. Okay. We're not going to apply any filtering here. We're just going to hit save. Now, next thing you want to do is you also want to go to your record summary. It's all just best practice, and just add in potential deals here as well. Okay. So that's the next step, and hit save. And that's it. Now it's configured. Now, the only other thing that we need to consider with App Ribbon is if your custom app does not give access to everyone in the system, when that app ribbon appears for you, even though you have access to it, if they don't have access to this custom app, they will not see this app ribbon. Okay, it's very important that you understand this. You need to give access to everyone who you intend to see the app ribbon on the contacts profile, or anywhere for that matter in the platform, because the app ribbons dynamically check the permissions of the app to see if that user has access to that app. If they do not, it's not going to show the app ribbon for it. Okay, so if you want to make sure everyone sees it, make sure to give access to all your users here. Okay, so the next thing, and this is a little bit of a quirk, okay, the next thing is that you're going to go to the contacts app, okay, and you're going to go and you're going to open up that contact. So you see John Derringer, we did have a potential lead for him, okay, and we don't notice that app ribbon show up here yet, right? So we're going to click the more option, and there it is. Potential deals is right there. Now, if you want to make this more visible to you and as a user, you're going to go ahead and click this display settings option, okay? And you're just going to go ahead and you're going to move this up to wherever area you'd like, okay? Now, another thing I want to tell you is you also have the option to configure your app ribbons further by adding an app ribbon here, right? So you can go ahead and you can select the app. So this is also another cool option. This is relatively new, to be quite honest with you. I'm discovering this right now as we speak. So this is kind of cool. This seems to be a much easier way to set this up, but it's telling you, right, what is the field list from the contacts. So it's going to be the entity that we want to do, and then we're going to want to join it as well on the customer right here and click add. All right. And then error saying, see, please, this is probably because we've already created it. So it's noticing that we've already done it. So we're going to leave it alone for right now. But this is also a fairly new area, it looks like, to configure your app ribbons. Okay. But let's just go back to the way we initially planned on doing this tutorial, which is the way that I know, and the way that I know is going to work. This seems to be a relatively newer feature. You can test this out, see if it works. If it does, great. Feel free to drop a comment below. I would love to know. I'm also going to look at this after the video. This is really cool. I love that Method constantly surprises me with these new ways of doing things and these new features. And I just discover them because I'm working in Method almost every day. So this is a great realization that you can also configure app ribbons this way, which is awesome. So now, another important thing is, because we're bringing the potential deals to the very, very beginning, right? That's a permission. That is a configuration that you're doing for your user, not for everyone else. So when the next person in your company logs in, they're not going to see potential deals show up at the beginning. Okay. It's still going to be in that more section. It's going to be hidden. So this is a user specific configuration that must be done for each user. You have to instruct all your users. If they want to see that app ribbon, they have to go to their display settings like I showed you here and move it to the area that they prefer to see it within their app ribbon. Okay. Now we're going to exit this. Okay. And now you'll see the potential deals list, but you'll notice it only shows potential deals here and nothing else. So you're going to be confused. You're going to click here and be like, well, I can't do anything with this. This is kind of the quirk that I was telling you about. We got to do an extra step. Now what we got to do is we got to go back to our potential deals app. Okay. So we're going to go back here. We're going to click the ellipses. We're going to hit manage. All right. And you'll notice now a brand new screen got auto-generated for us called Panel Potential Deals Contacts. Whenever you create an app ribbon, it's not going to show up here right away until you go to that particular app where you expect to see the app ribbon. And then it's going to auto-generate the screen when you go back to the app where the app ribbon's configured. I know it's a little confusing. It's a quirk of Method. Again, just to repeat, this screen will not appear for you to configure until you go to this app where the app ribbon is on and you click your app ribbon for it to now tell Method, generate the screen for me. Then you're going to go back to the app where the app ribbon is that you've configured, and you're going to find the screen within the manage screen section. Okay. Now what we got to do is we got to customize that screen. So we're going to go ahead and click customize. All right. You're going to edit, create a draft. All right. Now this is very important. Okay. Because this screen is a little finicky. Okay. I've noticed myself when I configured this screen, you can break something very easily. One thing to say, do not touch this field or this field. Do not even think, don't even breathe on it. That's how picky it is. Okay. Just leave it alone. What we're going to do is we're going to go to our list and we're going to look at the, let me move this. How do I move this? Let's move myself over here. And, oh, maybe you're not seeing this. Okay. Anyways, you're going to go here and you're going to click the views option. And you're going to choose potential deals. And you're going to notice the filter is automatically applied based off of what you configured in your app ribbon configuration setup area that we were doing, right? So nothing you got to worry about here. I'm just confirming for you that your filter has automatically been applied here. There's nothing you need to do. It is looking at all potential deals belonging to that customer. Okay. Now, if you want to change the sorting or whatever, you can do it here. That's no problem. All right. Now, the next thing we want to do is we want to go to our columns option. You'll notice a record name column shows up by default. This is useless. I don't use it. I always just hide it. So don't delete this column, please. Again, this is a very finicky screen. Just leave it alone. Just uncheck the show options, remove the 100% width, turn it back to pixels, and that's it. Don't do anything else, okay? Now, just add the columns that you want to add. So for me, I'm just going to go ahead and add the opportunity name, okay? Maybe I'll add in the stage. Let me do the stage. And let me add in also the close date. All right. And I'm just going to add in my format for my close date to short date. I don't need the timestamp. I'm going to remove the caption for opportunity and just put stage like that. And then I'm just going to rename this as opportunity. That's it. Okay. Now, the next thing we want to do is we want to click here and go to the row click option right here. All right. And we're going to go ahead and add a go to screen action so that when you click that particular potential deal, it takes you to that potential deal record. Okay. So we're going to go to screen. Potential deals is the app that we want to go to. We're going to go to the potential deal, new edit potential deal screen. And we're going to go and we're going to base this off of the list record ID. That is the record ID of the record that you're clicking on within your list. That's the record. That's the record that we want to go to. All right. And then I'm just going to add in a note here. Go to new edit potential deal. All right. We're going to hit close. And then we're also going to add in, this is by default hidden. We're going to set this to regular and we're going to put this as new potential deal. Our icon color is going to be primary. Our text color is also going to be primary. And we're going to go here and we're going to click go to screen, right? And then from go to screen, we're going to go to potential deal, and potential deal, we're going to click new edit potential deal. And here we're going to clear the screen. So we're going to say go to new edit potential deal. All right. And we're just going to clear the screen. All right. And then from here, we're going to go here. And I think we are good to go. So let's go back now to the contact. Let's go to John Derringer. Okay. All right. Let's go and look at this. Opportunity with John Derringer, closed one, and then the close date. Another thing I forgot to add here is by default, the panels, they hide the table headers. I don't know why. I kind of find that annoying, to be quite honest, but that's just something they do. And I always forget and I have to go back and do it. Let's just go ahead and do it. Potential, manage. Let's go into app ribbons. Oh, see, look, it created that extra app ribbon based off of that wizard that we showed you. You see that? Look at that. So that's why that error came up, because it saw a duplicate. Okay, so we probably need to look into this and just clean one up. I'm just gonna leave it alone for now. But yeah, that's cool. So it worked. So let's go into our screens and let's go in here. Let's go back to our grid and let's go to columns, and you're going to uncheck that hide column headers. Okay. I always like to show my column headers. It's just easier for you to read. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our contact. And then there you go. Now you have your column headers. If we click the opportunity, it takes us to that potential deal within our custom app. If we click new potential deal, it gives us the ability to go ahead and add a new potential deal for that particular contact. So that's your app ribbon. Okay. Now, one last thing that I want to tell you, and this is kind of a hack in Method. So oftentimes in your apps, right? So for example, let's say you want a an app ribbon here, right? On your potential deals app. Or let's say, actually, no, let me think about this. Let's say, let's say you wanted to add an Invoices app ribbon because you often generate invoices off of your potential deals, or an estimate app ribbon here. Well, based off of the instruction I told you, that means we have to go to our estimates app, right? And we got to go and configure the app ribbon there, right? But look, app ribbons is not an option here. And you're probably wondering, like, well, then we can't do it. Well, you can. And it's a little bit of a hack, but you can do it. And the way you do it is, all right, you create an app, you say custom app, you put in estimates here, all right? You put in whatever you want here. I'm just going to put new edit estimate, all right? And then what we're going to do here is we're going to click estimate and we're going to hit create. App name estimates already exist. Okay, yeah, that's true. So I'm going to say crafting clouds estimates, hit create. Now it gives you access to create an app ribbon for estimates in here. And then you basically now on your potential deals app, you go ahead and you basically specify for which app. So we're going to say customer here. We're going to join it here on the customer table, not the contacts. All right. Or actually, no, sorry. We're going to go to our potential deals table, which is our opportunities. All right. Opportunity. And then here we're going to choose customer. And then you're going to go and create, your potential deals right here. All right. And then you're going to put record ID. Let me move myself out of the way. We're going to do record ID, descending, and hit save. This is how you're going to see now an estimates app ribbon show up within your potential deals app. So a little bit of a hack, it's a workaround because obviously they don't give you access to configure the app ribbons directly within their stock apps. But a way around it is just to create a custom app based off of the same table, right? And then go to the app ribbon section there and configure your app ribbon in that custom app. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did get a lot of value and this helped you immensely in customizing app ribbons and Method, I would appreciate a like and subscribe down below. This is your best opportunity to really clean up your screens. This is something that I always use instead of adding grids. Method does not like a lot of grids on their screen. So I always like to use app ribbons. App ribbons is the best to keep your screens clean design-wise, and also helps with performance, right? You don't want to have multiple related grids on your screen. It's going to slow down the performance of your screen. It's going to cause Method to be buggy. Method does not like a lot of grids on the screen. Keep your grids at a minimum. Instead, add an app ribbon and have your grid sit as an app ribbon related to that screen. If you guys got a lot of value out of this video, again, I appreciate a like and subscribe. If you have any issues or want to walk through on how to do this, feel free to reach out to me. I'll leave my contact information down below. Otherwise, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace!